Hello folks and welcome to Barnadown Model Railway. Today's video is about planning model railway using AnyRail. Hope you enjoy it. Cheers. Bye. Hello folks. Right, so we've opened up AnyRail here. First thing to do is go to the settings tab and set the size of your canvas. I know what the size of my canvas is because I've already laid out my baseboards. So I'm going to size this up at 6.1 meters. So that's 610 centimeters. And it's going to be 3.5 meters in width. Also, you should set up your measurement system. I'm using the metric system here, centimeters. I would also set a grid of 10 centimeters, and the snap I use is 1 centimeter. I'll go back to the home tab here and go to fit the window, and you can see your canvas. So the first thing to do now is to create a layer. So in the home tab under layers, click on that. Over here on the left hand side, you can see that I've already created 2 layers. So to make sure that you're inserting anything, you make sure that you're on the correct layer. And when it's shaded like this, it shows that you're on that layer. So I've got to double click on that. Now I know I'm on the correct layer. So how do we create baseboards? So the first thing you do is go to the Insert tab and add a surface. So anywhere on there, just hit your mouse button, click for create a rectangle or a square. And to release that, just hit the escape button on your keyboard. Now, I always like to start at the coordinates of 0, 0. So by clicking on the left-hand side, top left-hand side of this box, it'll bring up your coordinates. So 0, 0, that will be your first point. You'll put it up on the top left-hand corner. So now my board width is 61 centimeters. So X will be 61 and Y will be 0. Bottom left-hand corner, X will be 0 and Y will be 162, because that's the board size that I have in my layout. Bottom right-hand corner, X will be 61 and Y will be 162. First baseboard put on there. Now I don't particularly like that grey color, so you can change the fill color of this by highlighting the edge of your baseboard, and that will bring up the Tools Surfaces tab. In here you've got fill color, and you can change it to any color you want. I'm going to change it to a nice blue there. I want to create another baseboard. We go to Insert, Add Surface, and we'll do the same thing. Just draw a rectangle, hit the escape button on your keyboard, and change the, so that's going to be 61, that's going to be 0, it's going to be 549, that's going to be 0, it's going to be 61, okay, so now we're ready to put some track on the baseboards. So first thing to do is make sure we change the layer. So now it's set to the layer track, and anything that we insert now will go on the track layer. So the tracks are in the track library, and there's a multitude of tracks that you can use. The scale that I'm using today is 0,0 scale, and for the purposes of this tutorial we're going to use the Pico set track and Streamline code 100. Now you can show the libraries there, as you can see. So Streamline code 100 is here and the set track is here. Okay, so let's just put in an oval shaped track. We'll start with some flexi track, code 100, and we'll insert it there. So what did I do there to move that? Let's undo what I just did. So you use your mouse, highlight by using the left button on your mouse, and then holding down the left button you can drag it to wherever you want to put it, and then let go. Okay, so next we'll put in a curved straight, and all you do is click with your left mouse and hold and drag and bring it to the end where you want to put the curve, and you will see that blue dot coming up, and automatically it snaps to it. And we'll do that again. There you go. And we'll create the arc, and we'll do the same on the other side. Insert, click, drag, insert, click, drag, insert, click, drag, and we'll put another code 100 in there. So now we have completed our first track. As you can see, each part is labeled. Now, if you come into AnyRail, it may not already, this you can switch on and off, and that's in the show library. So up here, if I click on that, you will see that it turns off the part numbers. I always like to see the part numbers, because when you come to printing out your layout and want to lay it down on the baseboards, it's nice to see what parts that you will be using there. I also like to see the track. You can change the look of this to sleepers or just a center line. I also like to see track ends, and I like to see the vertical clearance. You'll see that now in a minute when I go on to raise the track up. Okay. You can see the guides, you can see page numbers. Now that, if we go back to the home tab and go fit all, if I was to print this out now, it would not be printed at a 1:1 scale. To do that, you go to your print tab, your file, and print, and under the print scale, go 1:1. Make sure you, in the page range, suppress empty pages, otherwise you'll be printing blank pages. Always make sure that your print settings are alignment markers are shown and the page numbers. That helps when you're sequencing the pages on the boards. Another thing I would do is make sure that you switch off your baseboards when you're printing, otherwise you're going to use a lot of toner when printing. So you can freeze your layer by turning off the light bulb. So when you print, it'll print just the track. As you can see here, this shows all the page numbers. So there's hundreds of pages there. You don't want to be printing out all of those. If I was to print this now, all it would print is anything that has a track on it. All these would be disregarded. Okay, let's go back to the print, and if we go back to the show, I don't really want to see that now. I just want to see the baseboard. What I want to show you now is how to put an embankment or set the track at a certain height. So for instance, if we click on this flexi track here, On the Tools tab, under Track, you can see this section here, just here. It's showing a standard track. If I was to click on Hidden, it would put a tunnel entrance on either end of that track. How do you know? Let's have a look and see that in a 3D view. Under the Home tab, go to 3D view, and you can see now, using your mouse and your left button on your mouse, you can, and click and hold, you can rotate the view around. So you can see what's happened there. It's put it into a tunnel. If we go back to this now, say you want to do put this track at a higher level, all you do is click on Embankment. Let's go to the 3D view again under the Home tab. What that will do, oh, it didn't do it there. Why is that? Click on this. Okay. Okay, so let's say we wanted to have this section of track at on an embankment or a higher level. Just click the track that you want, right click, and go to Set Height. Let's put it at a height of 10 centimeters. Now go to the Home tab and look at the 3D view. What it's done is actually put it up to your 10 centimeters and created embankments on either side. Now obviously this slope is far too steep for any train to get up. How do we change that? We go back to our 2D view. Let's start our slope from here. Using your keyboard and the Shift command and your left button on your mouse, just highlight those pieces of, undo. Just highlight the slope on the left hand side and right click and create a smooth slope. Let's go to the 3D view under the Home tab. Now it didn't do it. Oh no, sorry, it has done it, but it's on the other side. So you can see over here, it's created a much smoother slope. How do you know what the angle of that, or the percentage gradient that is? We go back to the 2D view and we zoom in. Now to zoom in, you point where you are and use your Shift Control button on your keyboard. And you can see that it's showing a percentage gradient there. Obviously that's quite steep for a train. You wouldn't want to have an 8.6 percentage gradient. You'd want no more than sort of 4%. That very much depends on the loco that you've got as well, but you certainly wouldn't want anything more than 4%. But you get the general idea of how to create a slope. Okay, folks, that's the general gist of things. If we wanted to undo that, all we do is click on the track and go back to standard. Let's go to the 3D view. Now you can see we've got a percentage slope there and the tunnel is gone. I'm going to delete that, and now I'm going to put in a turnout. So again, you click on a turnout, that's a right hand turnout. We'll drag it to where we want it and insert. Now the flexi track. So if I go to the flexi track and I put it there, put it at that end, obviously we've got to cut the flexi track to the length there. All you do is click on that and drag to the end. These little X's here, because it's straight, you wouldn't see, because it's in a straight line, you can't really, I can't show you that. But if I put a piece of flexi track in here, and put it there. Now obviously that's gone off the board, so you don't want that off the board. You want it somewhere on the board. Now you can see this X here. That allows you to change the angle of the flexi track. Obviously you don't want too sharp a corner. The great thing about AnyRail is this little red line that you see here will let you know that that's far too sharp a corner for any train to get around. You'll get derailments if you have anything like that in there. And you can do the same on this end here. You can smoothen out the curve. Also, if you highlight the track and right click and then create a smooth flexi track, what it'll do is it'll get rid of any of those red marks. That's as simple as it is to insert tracks, folks. We'll move on now to my layout. So I'm going to open up Barnadown. I'm not going to save, I will save that. And now I'll just get rid of these libraries, and you can see what I've created here. I've spent a few days creating this, and this is what I'm going to show you in the next sequence, which is a time lapse of me just laying this highlighted board here. I'm going to be laying down the printed out sheets so that I can see how it will look on my board. Now I have, when I print, I only use the center line. So I only generally use the center line. It saves on toner on my printer. Okay, enjoy the next sequence, and I hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Okay, folks, so you can see from that time lapse, I just completed the main baseboard. I'll just give you a bit of a closer view of it. So coming in from, I don't know if you can see my finger, coming in from that point there, we'll have that bridge just there, which will cross it over there, and it will complete the loop of all the tables all the way around. So you got the main line 1, main line 2 coming in, and then that one there is the branch line, and also brings you to the fiddle yard. So just to give you an overview, I'll just run over the track here. I haven't sellotaped any of this down just because I'm not sure if I'm 100% happy with what I've printed yet, and I ran out of toner on these pages here. So as you can see, yeah, I've got the main line station over here and then the branch line station here, and my intention is that this here will be where I have the brewery using the AnyRail kegs, and then on the far side up here, that line running down there, that will be where I'll have my container port. See, the main line runs all the way along here, and then at this point down here it will start to rise up. Oh, no, sorry, not the main lines. Over here will start to rise up. As you can see, it's got just over a 4% incline, which I need to get down to about 4%. It'll rise up and go up and cross over the two main lines, which will run over there and all the way along that baseboard over there, and then across the bridge again, which will be over there. Okay folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks and goodbye. Till next time.